Good morning, Suchitra.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, meeting has started. Okay. We'll just start in next 2 minutes.
Sure.
देवता मॅडम लाईव्ह रेकॉर्डिंग आणि तुम्हाला होस्ट केलंय.
Okay, झालं. आले माझ्याकडे राईट. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhijit.
वेलकम मॅम.
We have about 2 minutes, so we'll just wait. People are joining in.
Hi Devata.
Hi,
everyone. I am just setting my camera. I guess it is. I'm not visible, right?
No, you're not visible.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Just give me a minute. I'm trying.
Surely. We have about 2 minutes. So we'll start with Shravani Tai, then Suchitra, and then Yojana.
Sure.
You have a presentation, Suchitra, right?
Just
So I'll make you the co-host so that you have the presentation.
I don't have to. No. I don't have to share screen or anything. Just,
Okay.
Yeah, and the presentation hasn't like I.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Shravani Madam, Suchitra Madam, and Yojana Madam.
Hello.
I am Smita Shukla, so you must have received my mail. And I'm from University of Mumbai itself, faculty member, but from a different department. My background is management. And I'm so thankful to Devata for conceptualization of this program. I am also heading one of the centers of ICSSR, which is Indian Council for Social Science Research, and where the activities which we have to do are discussion, lecture sessions, seminar, conferences. We fund them also in area of various perspectives related to social sciences. So I approached Devata Madam, and I'm so thankful that she, Dr. Rana Day, Department of Communication and Journalism, they proposed this theme and the idea and got all of you on board. And it has been such a wonderful experience yesterday, and I'm looking forward to the discussion which will happen today. So welcome you all.
Thank you, for that warm welcome. Just to brief you, yesterday we had 2 panel discussions. One was on media educators. So we had 3 women panelists, all senior media faculties. And we had post-lunch, we had 1 women panel discussion wherein all television news decision makers, editorial level people, bureau chiefs, they were there. And then we had 1 bureaucrat also. So it was a mixed panel. So very interesting. And today we will be talking about television entertainment media. And I'm glad that we have fiction and non-fiction combination. So it's going to be very interesting. So Suchitra is from Discovery, so non-fiction perspective. So that was one reason why I was to invite you, because then it adds a very different angle to the discussion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we'll start. I'll announce. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the day 2 and session 3 of our panel discussion, series of panel discussion. And with us, we have 3 beautiful women and successful women. To begin with, we will start with Shravani Redhara, madam. I'll just give you a brief introduction about her. She is an Indian film director, screenwriter, who won the Indian National Film Award for her very first project, that is Lapanda, which was released in 1993. And we're talking about way back when very few women were there in the industry. Redhara madam is also a former creative director for Star Prabha. And so far she has directed around 8 films, which in itself is a massive achievement. So her latest film was Mogara Fulla, which released in 2019. Then she's the director of Sata Lota Pan Saga Khota, Pehchan, The Face of Truth, Lekru, Silsila Hai Pyar Ka, Sarkar Nama, Lapandav. She was also writer for 3 films. The titles are The Sholay Girl, Pehchan, The Face of Truth, and Silsila Hai Pyar Ka. So that's a huge experience, and I'm glad that she's part of our panel discussion. Shravani ma'am, over to you. Please share your views on the theme. You are on mute, ma'am. You're on mute. Please unmute.
Is it
Yes.
okay? Okay. Very good morning to each one of you. And it's a pleasure coming on a session like this because it takes me back to my journey, and which started way back in '84 when I'd passed out of college, Ferguson College. My husband was a DOP from FTI. I've just acted in a movie. And because of him, I had seen the other side of cinema. That time television was it was a very primitive, it had not developed, and we didn't have so many channels. Doordarshan was the only channel operating. So cinema was the main focus. And I got exposed to the making of cinema because of my husband. And I realized it's a wide world. It's a huge science. It requires a lot of study. It requires a lot of dedication. And I was a lucky one that I was groomed to learn the grammar of cinema, where for us, our times, all this so-called PPTs and so-called presentations were not important. It was the soul of making a film and the grammar which went into making film. And I have seen how television evolved from Doordarshan. We did 2 shows at time. I was assisting Amol Palekar in '84. Amol and Chitra Palika, we did Kachi Dhoop and Nakab. The whole year we shot only 13 episodes of Kachi Dhoop and 13 episodes of Nakab. That was the kind of dedication. Now I'm producing a show for Colors and I have to churn every day one episode. So we have come from there to here. But cutting the story short, because I started in '84, we were a very rare breed. In spite of my husband being a very senior DOP, I was always along with us. I was always looked upon as when I went to shoot in Kolhapur, Sutradar, I was looked upon ki what is Debuda's wife doing with the clap and with the men, and how does she sleep in the room? Because the producers couldn't afford different accommodations, so certain way we were put in a dormitory with all of us together. I was the single woman sharing the room with men. So and I didn't realize that because the way my husband had projected this, yeah, you have to learn, you have to do. So I was one of them, but the way people looked at me, it was a very different, the lens was very different. What is a woman doing? In fact, my family was also wondering why she was getting into all this. What will she do? And I told them, my parents were doctors. So first of all, they were shocked that I didn't take medicine and acted in a movie, got married. So when I told my mom, I want to learn direction, she said, what are you going to do? What do you mean? How can you learn that? So they were always skeptical. What is she going to do? One of my in-laws had asked me, what are you going to be picking up shoes and all of actors and all of this assistant? What do they do? But it required 6 years of assisting, going to the institute. It was a proper grooming. One thing that I learned, when you are actually working, there's no demarcation between a man and a woman. A woman can do everything that a man does because it requires a certain amount of gray matter. And even in camera today, women are picking up lights and all this. It is like any other field. See, today in army or firefighting or any other, women have started entering the field now. It's sad that very late people have started recognizing these were not the conventional professions, so-called conventional professions laid down by the society. Conventional professions, we were doctors, engineers, banks, teachers. People thought these are the most suitable profession for a woman. Now, what I presumed were the concerns and worries for people entering this field was A, they thought women will not be safe. Two, many of the industry people thought women will not have the sensitivity to make commercial cinema or commercial television. They will make it into a very myopic kind of a projection, which will not cater and they might not get their money back. Three, they thought having a woman around, it will be a big jhanjat. You have to be careful about your language. It has happened to me. My fight masters and all have told me, Tai jara ghoom ke aao. Thoda gali deni hai. Aap rehte ho to bol nahi sakte. These are the actual hazards that men feel if women are around. The thought that women can be creatively that sound like a man always took a back seat. It always thought ki, are aurat direct kar rahi hai, to commercially it will be a very different kind of a film. Of course, I agree. Women being there, they are more sensitive towards the project, and we being a very lesser lot, we try to give importance to this profession. We don't take it by the way. We are concentrating all the time on trying to do something to do it well. But still, Now the things have changed because colleges have opened, schools have opened for media. The years that I was working, there were no colleges or media schools. When I got my national award as a filmmaker, we were 5-6 women in the whole country. Entire country, we were just 5-6 of us. We were very rare breed. The whole thing has changed now. But the concern which I have is, even if it has changed, even if schools have come up, media schools are coming up, there are very few women who are really right on the top. They go up to a certain level. They become good assistants. They are working in channels. But if you see, women, the amount they should come up, I feel that the percentage of women should be much higher, heading or taking calls, which are slowly now increasing. It is not as it should be. We don't have 50-50% also. If you go everywhere, the decision makers are mostly men. It's not in the hands of women. And when from films I migrated to a channel also, when I started heading Star, the outlook was I will say Star was a very nice channel. It was a very, it gave me all my space. But sometimes I did feel that little uh, uh, attitude of the producers. They found me very tough. They found my discipline to be tough. They always used to call me Bapre. I means, they were I still have that image. Yeah, they were khatarnak aurat hai bahut. And I was just trying to get a discipline into television. I was trying to get the grammar into television. I was trying to tell everybody that, see, we are here for no nonsense. Andaz se mat banao. I should try and tell my EPs, if you tell some producer, I don't like it. Why do you not like it? Give him a specific reason. You don't like the rhythm, you don't like the lens, you don't like the lighting. What do you know? But that was misinterpreted by the producers. Ki bapre, she is khatarnak. If this a man would have said, might be they would have appreciated and said, kitta aata hai. How much he knows. He's so knowledgeable. But these few things you do face this. I will not deny. You do face, because they undermine the role of a woman. They undermine that. They feel that she will be very sensitive. She will be very emotional. She will, look. She will not be. She will not be able to discriminate between the professionalism and the emotionalism between for her work, which is not the case. Which I don't agree. uh, I've been always asked a question by the press, being a woman filmmaker or a woman television maker, do you think you understand a woman's psyche better? So I asked them, Vimal Roy, was he a lady? I felt somebody like a Vimal Roy or Gulzar Sa, they understood women far better than many women directors. So there's no sex. This you have to be a man or a woman to understand the psyche. But this label goes along with you. This label is always there with us, and I don't know how many years it will take for us to break this. Somewhere, if women also start becoming more sure of themselves, if they start, putting their ideas, they start being a little more uh, verbal about their attitude or the ideas, instead of just taking a back seat. How do we come out? How do we say this? And things will change. But now also the scene is not very, I'll be lying if I tell you, okay, it is a very conducive. It is there, but it can be the proportion can definitely change.
Thank you, Shravani. But for our audiences, let me tell you that when Shravani joined Star Prabha, it was at number 4, and then with her constant efforts, she made it to number 1 position. Which
that was a challenge thrown to me, because when I got the job, my CEO told me, I'll tell you my interview, how the interview went. He told me, you're a very opinionated lady. So I said, sir, I'm a filmmaker. Thank you so much. I have to have an opinion. I can listen to everybody. It was a shock to him, because nobody spoke like that to the CEO of the company. Then he said, I feel you're more educated than me. I said, yes, sir, I'm a national award winner. Not once, second time also I was nominated. But in your profession, I still can't operate the laptop and computer well. So I said, sir, in yours, all the bell curves and always go above my head. But yes, in my profession. So, it was taken as a thing, what is she? So his comment was very important. He said, get this woman in. Either she will sink my company completely or she will get it up. Beach mein nahi rakhegi. Then he said, lady, there's a challenge. Will you be able to, I've been having this dream. Star can never be a number 4. I said, sir, if there's no interference and if you allow me to, I shall try. And I did that. But it was always that thing to prove. Or in the board meeting also, I was the odd one out. They used to always call me the Shravani. Because I asked basic questions. I should not, accept what everyone said. I should tell me, give me a reason and I'll do it. Why are you asking me to do it? So they thought that to be very, tint of arrogance. If you were trying to ask something if I didn't understand, I would genuinely ask, why should I do this? I'm not convinced by it. Then they used to say, Arey baap re, she'll give an answer. वो तो सुन नहीं लेगी ना, उसका तो अपना ही खुद का कुछ होता है. And this some 2-3 other women also face this because they were very honest to that. So you have to accept it and
That's a
go
very
forward.
valid point you have raised that, if we as women ask questions, and specifically even if you're at the senior position, it is taken as arrogance.
Yeah, it is.
Probably it would not have been interpreted as arrogance, but maybe someone who wants things in place.
Yes, but it is interpreted as arrogance.
Absolutely.
It is till date.
Thank you, Shravani ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, she is fondly known as Shravani Tai in the industry.
Yeah. And irony is I'm a Bengali who's become a Thai.
Yes.
I should have been called Didi actually, but we were happily settled down as Thai in Maharashtra.
Thank you. Moving on to our next speaker, we have with us Suchitra Verma. A brief background about her. She's a media professional with 15 years of broadcast experience in films, television, and OTT across various genres, with documentaries, TVCs, on-air promotions, and Indian feature films. After her master's, she went to study filmmaking at the New York Film Academy, which opened doors to affiliation with a Guyanese producer from the British Virgin Islands. She directed 2 documentaries and a few music videos that got screened in various film festivals in New York and other parts of the country. She has also worked with directors on feature films in India, both in Hindi and regional cinema. She is professionally trained in Bharatanatyam, and dancing is her way of meditation. Suchitra currently is working as a senior creative producer with Discovery Plus. As you all know, it is India's largest real entertainment streaming service owned by Discovery Inc. Suchitra, all yours.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be part of this panel. I mean, I didn't expect this, but I'm glad. I'm nobody. You spoke about successful women, but frankly, I'm nobody in front of who is there at present in front of me. I'm really honored. So thank you, Devata, for making me part of this much needed panel discussion. And thank you, Sanjay sir, if he's here, for always putting me in a tight spot. I have been following the conclave since yesterday, and it was extremely overwhelming to see such resourceful panel and friends from my department transition to such powerful and assertive professions, voicing their experiences with such passion. As Devata in my introduction mentioned about my storytelling aptitude, I'm sorry about the sound. I stay close to a railway track. I will begin telling you my experience. I had no godfather in the industry. My father had no money for my broad studies. I did not know my strength in filmmaking when I went to New York Film Academy. I was the only girl in the crew of possibly, I think, among 100 odd crew members when I was doing my first commercial regional film as assistant director back in 2007. I did face sexual harassment. I did learn to dodge them. But once I got focus of what I truly want to do in life, everything else fell in its place. And I believe this is because of the 6 F words that I held on to. One is, and the most important is your family support, financial backing, fearlessness, focus on mastering my skill, freedom of choice, whether or not to get exploited, and fitness, mental and physical both, to bear the real world timelines. But we may ask this question, how many of us in this country are privileged to have these 6 Fs? A handful, maybe. But how many of us can attempt to see opportunities amidst the common gender role stereotype. Yes, all. The question we need to ask, I guess, here is how many women are really working towards uh, gender equality? Why are we okay with 25% representation when it must be 50-50? No doubt, media demands a lot of time. It is not a 9 to 5 job industry. Women need to prioritize and strike a balance between the household chores and of official timelines. And both are equally exhausting. There is no scope of reservation, excuses, or even procrastination in this job. You must work round the clock if needed. You must be available 24/7. I remember when I was doing a non-fiction show for Star Plus, I used to get out of the set at 3 a.m., go directly to PFT, which is the studio, and by 10 a.m. get the creative ready with this for dispatch with all the approvals. And at that time, I believed that it was doable for me as I did not have any liability. But I know content heads of leading channels who not only churn out daily content with high TRPs, but also run a family simultaneously and beautifully without complaint. Reservations honge, but I think they're doing a fab job. This is where a strong support system, both at home as well as workplace, plays an important role to move forward. The challenge for many women is much more than just breaking into the industry, but also being able to advance to the highest level in their career. Talking about the TV entertainment business, we call it as Hindi GEC. Today, women in TV entertainment business have outnumbered men in front of camera as well as behind the scenes. Hindi GEC are all about female-oriented content for female audiences created by female showrunners. Let me tell you this story. I was recruited by a company that was launching a Hindi GEC for the first time, as they needed someone who had handled GEC before. Okay, and it is very different handling GEC. It is not as simple as it is seen. Uh, so let me tell you that this channel had shows with beautiful concept, amazing performance, technically impeccable, yet did not resonate with the audience. One of the reasons being that they had a male protagonist and none of the shows revolved around Saas Bahu or Ichhadari creatures. They had to stop the channel with immediate effect. Now talking about the target audience, which are women for TV daily soap, few critics debate that the audience watch what is shown to them. But content creators will tell you that they create characters and plots that are relatable to the target audience, which means in their research, if the test subjects want something, the production house will make it happen. For that matter, it is okay to turn a female protagonist into fly or snake or whatever. So, but I could, now that I've shifted to an OTT platform with Discovery Plus, I have started following digital platforms quite now, a lot of it. But this trend is changing slowly with the rise of OTT platforms, offering content for everyone. Even those who watch daily soaps with their family now has access to their personal space. Like you can have your mobile and log in and have your own space where she can explore all kind of content, erotic series, Korean romantic dramas, action thrillers, and the list is endless. Besides, the last couple of years, prominent OTT streaming platforms in India are being dominated by women decision makers as content heads as well as business heads. To answer Dr. Rajesh Karat's question at yesterday's conclave on are we also discussing women in marginal society? I believe we are, with the arrival of the number of regional mainstream digital platforms, the opportunities have come closer. Now one need not be in Mumbai city to be in media. Streaming apps like Planet Marathi, filled with women executives like creative producers, Hoi Choi, Bengali, Kude, Malayalam, Sun NXT, Oho, Gujarati, all these are like, and many more. These are just few top ones which I have mentioned. Many more has not only helped the filmmakers to release their content, but also boosted the regional content that once had limited audience. Today, people across the country, across the world knows Allu Arjun because of Pushpa, because that was dubbed in 5 different languages. So my point here is there is a scope for balanced opportunity, provided one has the awareness talent, and support to achieve what they want. And with the corporatization, the gap between the gender pay disparity, I believe, is also reducing. However, things may differ in feature film industry, like Shravani ma'am has said. Thai, uh, so women are still hello. So women are still struggling to make their mark, may it be as an actor, director of photography, or any technician in the process of filmmaking. Like how many all women crew films do you recollect? How many women directors you can name? How many women director of photography is active in mainstream? Very few. I myself made a transition from films to TV due to uncertainty, not just in schedules, but also in payment and unprofessional attitude towards women crew members. Nevertheless, my main goal is to get back to films, but this time at the decision making position where I can say, show me the money. Well, to conclude, I feel all this panel discussion and talk on women empowerment sounds very fancy, and it will be left here as yet another successful event. There is no mental shift. My parents never scared me saying, "एक अकेली लड़की खुली तिजोरी की तरह होती है." They let me dream. I lived my dreams on my terms. Remember the 6 F's I mentioned earlier. Family support. Everything begins at home. Family support, financial backing. कैसे मिलेगा? Fearlessness. How will you have the confidence to face the world? It all begins from home. Everything begins at home and not in the industry. Tomorrow, when you have a small boy crying in your family in your living room, can you ensure that none of your family members will tell him, क्या लड़कियों की तरह रो रहा है? Like change begins at home. Only then one can get the confidence to swim against the tide. I think I should.
Thank you, Suchitra, for
Yeah.
taking your heart out. Uh, so yeah, we will move on to our third speaker, Yojana Bhave. A brief information about her. She is a media professional with more than 15 plus years of experience in creative roles in the GEC and non-GEC section, television space. And she is currently working as head of programming for Shimaru Marathi Bhavna, a Marathi film channel. Yojana has worked with reputed media networks like Z Entertainment, Viacom 18, 9X Media Network, ETV Network in various capacities. Yojana was instrumental in launching the Marathi film channel Shimaru Marathi Bana, first Marathi music channel, 9X Jhakas, and revamping of Z Talkies. Yojana has vast experience in non-fiction programming and has handled various TV show formats like music shows, reality shows, adventure, and youth shows, multi-entertainment television. Yeah. So yes, Yojana, I'm glad that you're part of this panel. The floor is yours. Please. Go ahead.
We can't hear you, Yojana.
Yojana, we can't hear you. Please unmute. Maybe you can remove the headphone. No. No, we can't hear you. Maybe you can disconnect and connect again. This time say join with computer audio. Yeah. Meanwhile, maybe we can move on to Shravani Tai.
Yeah, as I was saying, all this theory, my third generation is in the industry. My daughter is an actor. My granddaughter started acting now. She's 10. She has started making her short films. My daughter has launched a YouTube channel. She has got 75 international awards for her films. First film as a maker. Acting also because she had a small child. Sai Devdar is my daughter's name. And she has written a script now. She'll be soon directing. And my third generation, my granddaughter, she's 10. She's acted in my show and she's writing a script for a film. So we are absolutely in the industry. But I'm still telling you, I've been working from 82, 83. 83, 84, I started working and I've seen everything. I've seen films, I've seen television, I've been a jury for all the awards. Internationally, my film went to Mill Valley Festival, when we didn't have this fancy festival. My film Lekru was among the 10 films from the world. So, seeing I've seen success of Sarkar Rama, huge success. It was a cult film in Maharashtra. Every big actor in the country wanted to work with me. Through a failure of Silsila Pyar Ka, where I was lambasted by all the channels. I've seen that. Uh, I'm still trying to, say, see, even I had a family, I had ailing. I had to went through series. I had a mother who was a doctor. My mom was highly qualified doctor. She was on bed for 4.5 years. When I was working, my husband met with cancer. So, and I was running a channel. When I joined the channel, Debu was on his last stage. He passed away. My mother passed away 4 months to that. After that, Sahi had a delivery. I became a grandmother. I was running the channel. My dad was in the hospital for 2 months on dialysis. I was running the channel. So, that balancing act happens. That takes, because people understand, once you're a decision maker, you take your calls fatafat, it happens. That comes. My worry is still, with due respect to Suchitra, I've been interactive just on Sun TV channel yesterday. I just went to meet my friends there yesterday and I've been interactive with them. Decision makers still are very few women right on top. They might be working Suchitra at the levels as EPs and all. But if you see a channel head, जितने अभी भी औरतें चाहिए नहीं है. I feel very sad. You still have, if you check all, right from star, you check everyone heading, there is a man. Below him, you'll have subordinates who are women. All these channels you name, because I've been going through, because I've become a producer now. So I've been visiting all these channels. And it makes me, like you said, right, to support a family. No one could have had a broader spectrum than me. You had to see a husband's death, a mother's death, dad's death, my daughter's delivery, and I'm running a channel. And the channel like Star, which is a very go-getter channel. As a programming head, you have to be all the time. But I made those people bend the rules according to me. I used to say, sir, I'll work from home. Producers were given limited time. Because I was tough. And in bargain, I got the image of being arrogant. Sorry, Yojana is here, so we can continue with that. Then I can share my experience.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Hi, and very sorry for interruption. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi. So, Daivata, first of all, very much thank you for this opportunity. It is always great to interact with like-minded people. Shravani Tai, hello. I'm seeing you.
Hi, Yojana. After years, you're meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a privilege to share the.
Same here.
Hi, Suchitra.
Hi.
Yeah. So, actually, to start it today, it's a very important topic we are discussing because it's in India we always discuss how women face challenges, and especially when in the field of media we talk about it, it becomes more important because as Suchitra rightly mentioned, we see at least in television space, women are very much dominating this space, and so it becomes very important to know what are the challenges for women in the field of media. Here I would like to talk about myself. For myself, working in television, I'm working in television since more than 15 years now, and I must say safely that it is very much it was a very good and rewarding experience to work in this field as a woman employee, or I have always worked with the television channel. In our industry we can see the other side of the table, so there are two main areas where in media industry we work. One is at the freelancer side, or the from the production houses side, where people actually create the content, and other side of it is the channel platform, who provides the platform to the content creators and who actually bring all the content for the viewers. uh, Sorry, I guess I can see some mess. Oh, okay. Sorry, some pop-up was there. I thought it is from panel. Yeah. Uh, so uh, So for me, this experience was very much rewarding. Started from my career, right from the beginning of my career, I was always in the decision making side, fortunately, and I never faced gender discrimination in a particular way. I mean, not particularly mainly as being a woman, but I must say, being a small town, I belong to Dhule. I come from a very small town called Dhule from North Maharashtra, and I have completed all my education from Dhule. And from there, I came to Mumbai and I started my career with my very first job directly in the channel, that is ETV Marathi, as executive producer. So, right from the beginning of my career, I was always at the decision making side. And yes, I mean, not particularly being as a woman, but I guess I mainly faced some challenges or some kind of different feedback, just not just being as a woman, but maybe a small town girl sitting at a decision making position. That was it mainly. And I found slowly the picture was changing. I have received a lot of positive responses, and of course it was challenging also, because when you sit as an executive producer, even at the beginning of your career, this position, it's something where you have to direct the content creator, or you have to give your feedback, give your valuable inputs in terms of the channel platform to the content creators. And sometimes they are very big in terms of their experiences, their age, and you sitting at the channel, you know this side of the table, and you are guiding them. So sometimes for them it is really difficult to take all your feedback. Sometimes they feel that we worked in this industry for more than so many years and all that, so who you are to tell me, do you have that experience? But people don't understand. People sitting at the other side on the channel platform, they come with a certain kind of a background, certain kind of experience, where we analyze audience and all that. So that becomes really challenging, and this synergy, I guess, this takes more time. And it is not just being as a woman, but I guess any person sitting in the channel, the person faces the similar kind of a challenge. So I would like to state here that my experience working as a woman professional in this industry was not really challenging in terms of gender discrimination. But as I mentioned, it was mainly as a small town girl, and that was at an initial level. But when you grow further, I guess it is mainly about us. How do we look at ourselves? I think the for women, Suchitra has mentioned about few F's, and I completely agree with them. Here, I would like to, I mean, the principle I applied for myself in my journey till date, that was one very important F, and that was focus. I think when when women professional work in this industry, this F, which is focus, is very important, because generally people think that if you are a woman, you have to take care of the family, house, and a lot of other challenges, like you have to manage your kids, your house, and everything. So, is it going to make any difference on your focus? Are your priorities going to be different when you're working 24/7 in this industry? So that is, I guess, the one important thing which is always considered. So whenever, I mean, for job interviews also, people ask like, who all are you in your families? I don't think this question is generally asked to the male employees very commonly. I believe so. I mean, I do ask when I interview anyone in my team, whether it is male or female. But generally, I guess for female, it is very important. And so this question came like, what are your future plan? What are your priorities? What is your focus? So people try to understand, if you're going to sit at a decision making level, what are your priorities, how strong you are in terms of your focus. And I guess for all women, this is very important, that how you look at yourself. If you yourself look at yourself as a woman, then it makes difference, because other people also look at you as a woman only. If you look at yourself as a professional, as a working professional only, and that makes the whole change in your surroundings also, because people also started counting you just as a professional. I guess today the television media is a space, or any kind of a media entertainment field is a space where we find there are no reservations. I feel actually very fortunate that we work in such a field where there are no any reservations. for female, for I mean your economic status doesn't matter at all. uh, okay. So where your social and economical status doesn't matter, whether you're male, whether you're female, doesn't matter. The creativity and your focus, your hard, your serious efforts toward your works, that only matters. And that way, for women, it is very important to look at themselves as just as a professional, not as a woman, that I am a woman and now I'm going to sit at this position, or what kind of a privileges I'm going to get, or what or am I going to face any challenges. I guess first we need to remove that filter from our mind when we are joining any position, at least at a decision making level. And I have personally seen the changes, because I never thought that I'm a girl and I'm going to do this. I always thought that I am a professional, I am being uh, paid for this, I am being appreciated for whatever I have done till date, so that's what I need to continue. So if you look at yourself with this approach, I guess that turns the atmosphere around you as well, and people also started counting you as just as a professional. And I guess this is very much up to women these days, that how they want to portray. I really don't think anyone who wants to enter into the television or media industry should look at themselves as a, like, I'm a female, I'm a woman, and I'm entering in this field. You should just focus at being a good professional, being hardworking, and your priorities. I mean, of course, along with your focus, I guess priority is another important thing, which is important for women, because for everyone, the family is important, work is important, and I guess women are excellent in this when they are managing this both. So, I guess that is the privilege all women naturally get, that they have ability to manage their families, work, and all that. I guess men can get diverted with their focus maybe a little bit, not everyone, but there is a natural possibility of being diverted with their focus. But I guess women have that capacity, so we should more focus on that, and think of that how we can utilize this natural strength of ours as a woman.
That's
Yeah.
really thoughtful, and you spoke your heart out. It's very important that you shared your experience, that you come from a small town, because in our classrooms also we have a lot of girls who come from small towns, and who need inspirations like you, that okay, what are the challenges you face. So it's not about being women only, it's also about coming from a small town and being a woman. So that adds up to the challenges which you face while you are entering in the industry. So my next question is to all of you, that especially with the digital arena coming in, what changes have you observed in the past maybe a decade in the television industry, and how has this change in the television itself has affected the portrayal of women?
Television industry, as per se, there's no change with the digital. Digital is a very different section. Television industry is operating its own content, and they're very happy doing that, because television is here to stay. They have their own ups and downs, and they have their own problems, and within themselves, with the regional and the Hindi GC, they are trying to sort out their problems. So digital television industry looks at the digital, but they are now, because lately I've been interacting with the two medias, and I felt that strong this. The television industry is very, because I've become a producer now, they're very content with themselves, and they're convinced that digital will come, but we are here. Roji roti, so we are going to be there. Television industry is not going anywhere for few years, so they're very content. So they have their own set of problems. They're very their own set of problems. Digital has not that way, because it's 8 episodes or 9 episodes of each this. And I may be wrong, but the way television industry is a family बैठ के नहीं देख सकती. We give content which the entire family can sit and watch. So that is a strong feeling the television makers have. The loyal audience will be with us. That 6:30, as Suchitra rightly pointed out, the women protagonists and the families, they would be comfortable watching a television show with their families. As per se digital, because of the content we are breaking our own this, it's not very comfortable still in Indian homes to sit and watch all the digital shows. So television industry that way is not so much affected. Yes, affected in the sense good writers and all tend to, take a leap and go towards digital. Digital still is that uh, big thing. Okay, I'm writing a web series. It becomes that little heaviness comes when you approach a writer or some actors. Yeah, they've asked us to do a web series or a director if he wants to go and direct a web series. Of course, it adds a feather to the cap. So that is the big thing television industry will face. Web is still looked upon as that what do I say? Uh, Celebrated kind of a thing that if you become a part of that, you are being celebrated. You get that little VIP status. But Baki television industry in its own is undergoing its own problems, its own this. I don't think so. These two will ever have any. They can go parallelly,
What about
except for the technicians and these people, filtering from here to there. Writers, technicians, actors.
Portrayal of women is definitely better in television than OTT.
Yes, yes,
So if you're talking per se,
yeah,
like about portrayal women, no doubt, television is like
100%.
what ma'am says, it's ruling and
Yeah,
women rule there. But
yeah,
yeah, OTT is, I mean, it's like they call it as a good content when you talk about OTT is over the top only. It
yeah.
is
It's over
over
the
the
top.
top. It is not the main thing. And
No.
it's like a style statement when you do. Like
Yes.
my transition from television to OTT, why I prefer OTT apart from now I'm saying, oh, I'm in digital now. I don't want to get back to GEC. But that's because of the work. I mean, I've lived like all of us are from, I think, somewhere or the other from Star, so we know that Star culture. So coming from that to like a Discovery Channel, for me it was um, a perfect work-life balance. At a particular age, you want that balance in life somewhere. So I just thought it's a personal thing why I switched from television to digital, and I prefer staying here because I get time to write my own film stories during my weekends, which I was not getting when I was in a Hindi GC channel. So again, portrayal of women is definitely, I would say, much better. They're getting a better platform. The concepts are still, I mean, relatable to women, household women, and they are doing fab job that is not even touched by OTT. Like if you see films, OTT is not just about web series; it's also about films. The portrayal of films now having all these regional films also coming in OTT platform where I gave an example of Pushpa. What is the portrayal of women in Pushpa? If you see, it's nothing. But at the same time, when you see, it's like you have to pick. The portrayal of things change as per the region, but yeah, television will never leave, and it is going to be there. Like ma'am said, the people are loyal to television, and no platform will get that exposure for a woman that a television can give.
what about you, Yojana? What do you think? You're on mute, I think.
Hello. I was
Hello,
out. Have I joined?
Yes,
Can you
you
hear
have.
me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
we can hear
again,
you.
I'm going off
am I
something.
audible now?
Yes, you are. You are, Yojana.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Huh.
so Devin, I was saying, as we all know that we are today living in a global world. So we always say that we live in a India as well as we live in a Bharat. So both things are very much existing today for all of us. And I guess television addresses the Bharat part of it because the kind of need this other people have in our country. I guess television very much addresses that, and that is the reason it is going to be there, because we cannot even, whatever we say today that India is a progressive country and all that, we are very much doing the OTT kind of a content, but as I mean, as we all know, it's always the over the top. So what is the reality in terms of the entertainment, that is always with the TV. So since television addressed that part of India, large part of India, I guess there is a long future, I mean long way to go for television yet. And yes, we are seeing some kind of differences on television, in television content as well. I mean, it is not that the portrayal of women is always like 50 years back or 10 years back. Of course, there are changes. We are seeing women protagonists in lots of shows. I mean, in television, most of the shows are women driver. Usually, I mean, for men, there is hardly a space in any soaps or any that kind of a thing. A few things are, of course, changing, but largely, if you say in television, the portrayal of woman is mainly the homemaker, and that is the 70% of India till today. So that represents the real India.
I have observed of late that, and Shabnita, I also mentioned that women loyal audiences will always remain, television loyal audiences. So probably in the past few years, I may be wrong, that the protagonist is middle-aged woman. So she's no longer a younger woman, unlike OTT. So is it that the younger women are no longer, audiences of television, and they are shifting to OTT platform, and therefore, middle-aged women are portrayed as protagonists? What do you think?
This is a conversation which has been happening, and they are also trying to figure out what you say has a little out of truth in it, because with the success of Anupama, the only show, I've been a jury lately on one of the just finished jurying all the television series for one of the most prestigious awards, and I was shocked at the quality how we have deteriorated. When they asked us for our jury comments, and I said, should I be frank? They said, yes, Sai, please come up. I said, our content is deteriorating beyond. Though women are, all that, but what are we doing? If you change one show and put it in the other show and remove the dialogues, you can flip one show to the other show across channels. It's the same. It's the same. So I feel sad when it is such a leading thing, and even if you're middle class, I feel Doordarshan was doing better stuff. When Doordarshan was there, Malgudi, I'm genuinely saying that. I'm a filmmaker. I'm again back to films. I'm doing OTT. I did Sholay Girl, which I got awards for my first. I did on the first, India's first stunt woman. We made a film, my daughter and me, on OTT, on Z5. Our film was there. And I'm doing one more OTT. I'm in films. I'm planning my film. And I'm doing television. I'm a television producer. I'm doing all the three things. I'm still trying to tell you, Devita, I would still prefer if roles of women are defined more. This society has changed today. Of course, we are homemakers. I'll proudly say I'm not in the bra burning category. I'm a homemaker. I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother. I'm a Shakti's mother-in-law. I love doing all that. I was Debu's wife. And when I got my national award, I remember when the press walked in, I was cleaning my house with the broom. But suddenly they came for the interview and they were shocked. And they says, ki, Tai tumi. I said, oh, me kari, ye sagda karte. Filmmaking is just a part of my life. It's not me complete. Me complete is with all this, as Suchita says, relationships. So see, we are doing all this. But still, na television mein, if a woman is intelligent and working, she's supposed to not know cooking. She's not supposed to give respect to her in-laws. I don't know why these stereotypes. When will these stereotypes go is when we will evolve in television. And I'm just hoping, that's why I keep insisting. Even if women are there as EPs, even if they are there, they have to be decision makers. We have to fight with the system. Somewhere this has to start. No, women have to be shown complete. You cannot just show women all the time doing puja part with Tulsi and all. That is a part. But besides that, she's going and operating. She's coming back. She is going to the son's school for PTA meeting. She's taking care of her in-laws. When will we start showing all that? It is not. And I can strongly say, because I've seen all the shows across the country. I've just been a jury. I've seen all the shows across the country. And I said, what is happening? Why are they all the same? Why are we not coming up? In everything, even in cinema. If you see women, when Shantaram Bapu and all made films, what strong women characters, yeah. Vimal Roy and all, what characters? Are we doing that today with the actresses? We're not. Women are so stronger. We are doing a film on the first firefighter woman of our country, my daughter and me. My daughter's concept. We're doing a film. When she told me her experiences, and we go and tell producers, first they tell me, firefighter, wo kya karegi? Wo pipe leke kya pani? I said, no, it is much beyond. She's not just going to take that. Acha, the approach is only that to subjects also. If you have a subject also, people's approach is that. We have to drastically start changing that. See, it is going to stay. Television is definitely going to, and it should stay. But why not through this? If it is for the women, if it's for the middle-aged women, as you say today, because you feel the OTT younger generation is going towards the content. But tell me honestly, Divita, after how much of time are the younger generation just going to see the same content? Now they started saying we are getting bored seeing the same stuff. It's only sex, it's only murder, it's only this. There is one good luck or one, now Rocket Boys, or one this, which is, people are lapping it up. It's not that Gulak was also lapped up. It was just a story of a small family. People are lapping it up. Someone dared to do something like that. People will lap it up. But why we as makers not find it responsible to slowly start changing the approach? Slowly, I'm saying it's not going to be overnight, but slowly, if everybody gets together and start making shows, people will also have no choice but to sit and watch. Are we actually doing that? Are we really asking ourselves? Are we really doing it? Are we still considering ourselves a part of society, or we look upon ourselves as something different? We as filmmakers start feeling that we are filmmakers, we are going to do, people have to accept it. Why don't we consider that we are also part of this society? It is, we are doing for us, by us, for us. So things have to. I might sound, because I'm approaching 60, this is going to be my 60th birthday. So I with authority can talk now. Okay? This changes I would love to see coming into practice, which I'm not still happy. I am very much a part of that system. I am still making content. And I would love to, though even I couldn't, do that much changes. I'm being very honest to you. I'm not being dishonest. Just coming to a show like this and talking, something which you don't practice is not right. I would love to be in that position where I can make things change, give protagonists which are slightly, a little more substance. Women shown with little more substance. Women shown a little more in a different lens. The same thing in a different lens. I would be happy. I would be happier.
What do you, Suchitra? What do you feel?
Well, I totally agree with ma'am. And now that when she was talking about it, I was just going through my Discovery Plus app, and I'm working on non-fiction, um, where I was just browsing and seeing all the top shows, and none of them, although it's infotainment, none of them has female narrator, you know. So we haven't अभी जब सुन रही हूँ तब मुझे लग रहा है कि यार why is Secret of Siroli was one of our best, like it got us a lot of subscription. It's
Yes, yes,
hosted
yes,
by Manoj Bajpayee, and we are coming up with a second season of it. And again, it's a male. I mean, I can't disclose who is it, but again, it's a male
yes.
narrator. So I was just saying, there was like Say Yes to Dress, which did well in this platform, but the host is always male.
Yeah.
So the designer could have been a female, but that's what I'm saying. Uh, strangely, in infotainment as well, when we have an option to get women out there. Like there are so many, I'm sure, female stars who can do well. Abhi, jo bhi shows are like we had Mission Frontline, where the star, the celebrity who's joining the border security force or Kashmir police and all are male. Rohit Shetty, Ajay Devgan, all are male. Only one Sara Ali Khan was there, but again the rating we see it's more on these macho people leading the show. So I mean that's very sad. Although we always look at female, I'm so used to looking at females in television that now I have actually forgotten that even infotainment has that platform, and we ourselves are not looking at it the way it is. I recently did a promo for I think for Independence Day, and we had a narration in that. Okay, so we had a narration. Uh, I took a narration from a female voiceover artist, and we
Mm,
had a narration from just the small things which might not hit
yeah,
you. We had
yeah.
I put the whole thing in a female voiceover artist, beautifully said, and I got a feedback saying, "अरे नहीं इसको male voiceover
Ah,
करो."
correct. They told me
And
also for my
yeah,
audio pilot, कि ताई male or male करा हाँ, it will be approved. I say why? They say no, male is more effective, than female.
and I
I,
actually evaluated कि modulation देख लो, उसका emotions in the voice देख लो. I thought the female did better, but the requirement again, like sometimes you can't question because like what Yojana said, like you are sitting in the other side of the table. We are the creative people. मैं बोलूँगी इस context set करो, but my marketing says अरे 5 सेकंड में mute में देखा तो public skip कर देगा because everything is on your
but
thumb.
Suchitra, That is the challenge I'm saying as top notches. See,
Yeah,
Doordarshan was top as top notches. This is my worry. If as top notches, all of us get together and start saying that slowly the mindset has to change.
correct.
We are on so many forums where all the channel heads go together. We
Yes.
have 2 days, 3 days, offsides and all. If you all come on to, yes, we will start slowly bringing the change together.
Right.
Things will change. It is not that, but that much of, and believe in me, I'm not just fapping around. That much of thought is not going.
Going.
Producer doesn't want
Absolutely.
to think. They get a show, they have the retirement plan. कि एक show आएगा. No, I'm not joking because I'm on the other side now as a production. So I know what my production people tell me. क्यों इतना खर्चा कर रहे हो ताई? Why are you wasting? I say wasting. It's a show. It's going to go on my name. What are you talking? Hurry! People have laughed at me in the editing room. I've cut 5 minutes of my own production. Because the channel gave me a show saying we'll not interfere what you give in telecast. So it becomes more difficult for me. So I go to the editing and chop 5, 5, 6 minutes. People say पागल औरत है क्या? खुद producer है 5 5 minute काट रही है. If the producer is putting money to increase the episodes and she's cutting her own stuff because see this consciousness. I don't want to sound very pious or good. What I'm trying to say, each one of us in a humble way, in a small way, can start contributing. Trying to make that change. See, we could have done an OTT film on any other, but we chose to do it on Reshma Patan. She was the first female, who did all the stunt women of our country where there were no harness, no leash, and nobody knew about her. Nobody in this country knew.
Yeah.
Sholika's son, she did all the stunts she did. Nobody knew. And because of her film, what recognition she got. She went on Kaun Banega Karodpati. She was felicitated. Even the Indian cinema team, all Javed Saab and all, everybody, they felicitated us. So what I'm trying to say is, if each one of us tries and finds such elements, like the firefighter that we are doing the film on, the first firefighter, nobody knew why, what was her being the first woman firefighter in the country, what glass ceiling she had to break and what she had to do and all. So if we start choosing, I could have chosen some other subject also for the OTT plus, but what each one of us, if we start choosing subjects, start portraying women in a different form, start showing them, I feel things should change. We should not be, just doing what I saw didn't make me too happy. I'm being honest to you, ma. Just looking pretty and wearing those jewelry and those, still it's not gone. It's not, it's not changing as much as it should. I thought with OTT coming, things will drastically change. Things will change, but it's not. It's not.
Thank you. What has been your experience, Yojana, working in the
Yeah.
regional
So,
content?
yeah. I completely agree with Shravani that we all collectively need to think about it. And I guess very consciously we have to take this call when women are sitting at a decision making positions. I guess we can contribute a lot. I'll give us very small example. We are doing one of the show on our channel is based on Kirtan, which is a traditional format in Maharashtra, which talks about Lord Pandurangas and all that. There are, I mean, it's a more than 900 years tradition in Maharashtra. We all know Sant Jnaneshwar, Sant Tukaram, and all that. So today there are a lot of kirtankars in Maharashtra. They are very popular. They have huge followership, and it's one of the very good viewers kind of a platform today for Marathi television. At least on movie channel, it's doing really well. And when we try to, for me, it was maybe a differentiator content when I tried to say that we will also offer the platform to female kirtankar because there are a lot of female kirtankar. So the initially people who are very established in this particular territory, they opposed that people won't accept it. It's just a feel good factor for you television people that women will come ahead and they will talk, but generally उनको इतना reception नहीं है, उनको इतना followership नहीं है, उनके इतने followers ही नहीं है, तो आपको शायद TRP नहीं मिलेगा. So you should play safe and just use the renowned kirtankar, and there is no need of giving them a separate platform. At least for them television was a big platform for kirtan because generally kirtan usually being performed at a smaller towns and all that kind of a places. So when we tried that experience, we got a very good response. Whenever we have done the female kirtankar special festival, we got better TRPs. So now they started saying just because of TRP you repeat the woman female kirtankar. So the other way they started taking it. Ki because of TRP, please don't do this because there is certain, yeah, because there is, I mean, certain criterias when we do kirtan in. I would not like to take names here, but few very renowned platforms for kirtans in Maharashtra, they don't allow women kirtankar, female kirtankar to perform there. I mean, a few prestigious festivals which annually happens takes place every year. So they don't allow. I mean, it was really shocking and surprising for me because Sant Jnaneshwar, whom we know because of his sister also Muktabai,
That's why, yeah.
was, yeah, I mean, it is 900 back in Maharashtra, and till today the particular fraternity thinks that female kirtankar should not get that much importance in this particular category, is really something which is annoying. And I guess in such cases we should come in place and we should utilize this platform and should hammer this picture and should make this very common that yes, female kirtankar are there and there is a platform to this, and this is very natural and common that they will come on stage and they will perform. There is nothing different, or this is not a gimmick that woman is doing this. Women were always doing this. We know Sant Janabai and lot of, I mean, there is a huge tradition in women female kirtankar as well. So there is nothing new that we are doing it for television. It was already existing, and today it is our responsibility to bring it in a picture in a good way so that people will feel that this is very common and this is very natural. We should not portray it like, Arey, we have done some gimmick. It should be common, and for that I guess our role is very important, that how we gonna hammer it. We should not I guess one of the important thing which we can do through our content, whenever, I mean, since I'm sitting at the table now, I can say, so wherever I want to give any platform, I should think of that how I should portray give how I should portray women. How should that scope should be? It should not look like a deliberate attempt to portray woman as a protagonist or some. This should more look like a common picture, that there is nothing new. Because when we say, I mean, I guess all of us here will agree that women don't really need 30% or 35% or more than that, any reservation kind of a thing. We rather believe in equality. So when we
Very
say
true.
equality, why should we expect a special treatment? Even in terms of content, we should start doing that. So wherever there
Correct.
be scenes in television soaps ki like when we see कि कोई लव स्टोरी का भी सीन होता है, लड़का लड़की को सीट ऑफर करता है, बस में दोनों ट्रैवल करते, लड़का बोलता है यहाँ बैठो, एंड दैट लव स्टोरी काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. सो व्हेन वी से दैट girl is saying, just because she is a girl, she will say ki if you can stand, I can also stand. There is equality. There is no need of special privileges being a girl. So if these kind of scenes or picturization of women we started portraying particularly, I guess there would be acceptance to this kind of a thing in day-to-day television. Because as I mentioned earlier, 70% of India lives in this Bharat, and they have this stereotype mentality, and I guess that is why television also try to reflect that through their content. So when we say television is largely accepted platform more than OTT, I mean, it is there in every houses and everyone consumes that content. So it is our responsibility to make this picture common, not as a special. So first, I think we should skip that from our mind that we have to specially portray women. We should make it a common picture. We should contribute to that level.
I think Yojana has already set the backdrop for my next question. I was coming to that. That if you're talking about women portrayal, what changes in the men's portrayal we need to do so that women's portrayal come as balanced? What do you think? What changes we need in this arena?
The men should be shown more human. They are shown as superior, in all the portrayals. They're just superior in everything. Right from the childhood level, the discrimination, the approach. It is they who need to be, brought back and made human. Woman is what Yojana says where she is. She's doing everything. The men have to be dragged back and told, you're human, you're normal, just behave normal. There's nothing extra that you all are doing. Instead the woman is helping you. So the characters have to be, thought in that way. And today, see, what irks me is that way India has changed. Today, my maids, daughters, are all highly educated. They have their laptop, they have their phones, they have their voice. They will not take the fathers pressurizing the mothers. They have the guts to tell. I've got a maid whose daughter had the guts to tell the mother, if the father is ill-treating you, we'll leave him and we'll go and we'll take our own room and we'll stay. See, this change has come. This change has come to the grassroots level. So slowly, why don't we start getting this change into our programs? Why don't we start showing the actual picture of what is happening? Today, girls are getting educated. They are balancing. They are taking care of homes. They are doing everything. Just show a real picture. We don't have to go out of the way to show it different. No? The men are always shown superior. The men can do everything. The men can, stronger. If a thing, it's example tomorrow. Like if a robber, no filmmaker will write a scene. If a robber comes to a house, the lady of the house will get up with a stick and go. If she hears first thing it will come to the mind is she will wake up the husband. But some homes it might happen that lady can be a strong lady. She can go. Why don't you try and attempt writing a scene also? I'm trying to say. It's a funny example I'm giving, but small scenes like this. Why don't we have surprise scenes that the wife comes home? Why can't we have romance like that? That the wife comes home tired, that the husband has made a meal and all, and it's got a surprise for her. And they have a beautiful love scene after that. She's so thankful to him. She's so happy that he took care of her. That's a way of romance. Why don't we start approaching scenes with that? You don't have to do something drastic. In everyday's programming, we can start making the changes. If I write a scene where the father comes home and he tells the children, the mother will be very tired. Why don't you all help me? Come on, let us give a surprise to her. We'll make a nice dinner for her, set out the table for her. And she comes home and she's shocked. And that little, eye contact between the husband and the wife and the little romance scene between both of them, it can be so beautiful. So are we thinking of writing scenes like that? We'll always write, he gets tired and he'll come. And we will show her struggle. She'll come home huffing, puffing, and then she'll try, trying to match things. She will start saying, hey, cut this, that. In that, she will, upset the mother-in-law. Some drama will come out of that. Why? Why do we have to do all that? It's my question, which I'm also trying to find answers. We have to just show what is there, because society has changed today. Society has definitely changed. We have to show that picture. I will not agree.
Chitra, what is your take on it?
I mean, I agree to both of them. And like we said, if we have women, it's not like women only write about women. They are sensible about all characters.
Yes.
So it's there is like you give us one particular scene to a woman writer, you give the same to a man. I think men, I mean, both will have their own sensibility to write the
Yes.
scene. But
Yes.
I feel women does a better job in understanding the sensibility of both men and women, and they'll portray a better picture. So, like you said, if you have people in the decision making panel who are women, automatically everything falls in its place, which is lacking. So, yeah, I mean, we just need to be up there, all of them, to have a better picture. Like I'm watching a lot of Korean dramas, and मतलब ऐसा आदमी मेरे को चाहिए कहाँ मिलेगा? It is like that. I am like ये इंडिया में तो बनता नहीं है ऐसा आदमी. They are also portraying men like superheroes. Like I really I don't know. I want to go to South Korea and understand if men are actually like that. And that's all facade. They're not showing a clear picture.
No, they don't.
It's all fake. And we fall to all these flowery picture, and you come home, open the door, your husband picking your nose and probably sitting with a cup of.
That I'm saying, scenes are not changing. That's, I was always asked this question. My husband was my DOP for all my films. And all my films won awards. So every time the press used to always ask me, what is your role when you all go home? I said, means? He said, you're the director, he's the cameraman. I said, we are not filming in the house, no? House we are living as husband and wife. So the role is I'm the wife, he's the husband. Whatever husband, wife do, we do. But every time I used to ask Debu, why this question always comes up? Okay, I'm the director, you're the husband. So they feel, how is it? How do you all manage? They used to ask Debu, how do you feel taking up instructions from a wife? She's saying she's a qualified director. She's not, we are not, in the house. She's a director. She's telling me what shots to can. So I'm taking those shots. So this, and then they used to ask me, how do you feel being the, getting a national award at such a young age and, being this, that, what liberated, what will you give? I said, I was never a liberated woman in the sense, because I was given that respect from my home. I didn't have to fight for it. Debu was a very understanding husband. I got so much of respect in my house. So I love to cook for him. I love to take care of the things. I love to take care of my daughter because he gave me so much of space. If I was dubbing for my film, I didn't come at night, or if I was doing working late, Debu was very adjustable. He would never throw a tantrum. He would trot say that she has to, and same way. So I didn't have to go for my rights. I have to. So in my characters, you'll never find women fighting like that for their rights. They don't get up and they will start mukti and andolan and all this. Not a part of mine. Rather, I feel she will try and change the point of view of people around, which I did when I was when I was in the pivotal role of taking calls for Star. I did that. I became the mother of the channel. People hated me. There was a time, Devita, when all the EPs went and this against me. They said we will not work. So they were asked to put your resignation and leave because you're not going to change her. So then I told him, I said, see, baby, you can't change a mother in the house. I'm the mother figure. Now you have to stay with you. So I will have to listen to me. You'll hate me. So they used to do that. When they used to give a yelling or something, they used to go to the cafeteria. I knew they used to go and give bad words to me. Whatever way we give to our mothers and all. So when they used to come back, I say, oh, Zala, well, I've abused, everything happy. Now get down to work. So now do we work? And I'll order something for you all to eat. So that is how they fell in line. They started obeying. They used to say, Taina, kat, kat. So they used to do that. They used to make fun of me. I used to give them one day to, mimic me, make fun of me. So I became the mother figure to all of them. Like how you're in a family, you start grooming that. That's what I do on my film sets. I have to work with choreographers. I have to work with fight masters. I have to work with so many departments which are top-notch men. So now there I don't use my skills as a woman per se, and yet I use my skills as a woman. I become the mother figure of the family. I say, no, this will not be done. No, please, I don't want questions. And they respect. So they are tacts. Women have that tact of getting things. We have been given that instinct by God. It comes to us automatically. Don't we take care of a family? We're taking care of a family. We are managing all of them. We're managing our husbands, we're managing our in-laws, we're managing our children, everyone's tantrums, everyone's problems, we're doing relatives. Same way it becomes extension. Work also becomes extension of that. So we have to I'm heading the Me Too from the director's department. I'm heading the Me Too. Now that's a very crucial position, head a Me Too, and to give calls on the. So there also, I'm deviating little, but I'm trying to say because it's again pertaining to the television industry and that, because, I have seen cases where women could have avoided the situation. They could have. So I was very verbose while giving my verdict. I said, no. Why did she get into this? Of course, where cases have been, where they have been traumatized, we have given. But there are things we can avoid. It is in our hands. There are things you sense it and you can walk out of it. You don't have to take. So as decision makers also, exactly I'm saying we have to replicate what we are doing in our homes. We can just replicate that into our work. That is what I have done for myself. I've replicated that role into my workspace. So it becomes easy. It's not all that difficult. And the discrimination, yes, might be. She is tough. She's like that. But it's okay. It's okay. These things are working. Everyone. Someone has to take a call. Someone has to be that bad person. Bad cop, somebody has to be. But the family becomes happy ultimately. Everyone is happy. Everything goes on smoothly. And for that, I still feel decision makers have to come in a bigger proportion. OTT also. How many few women are heading OTTs? Where decisions of everyday OTT content? Hardly any.
What do you think, Yojana? You have to add to what Sai said?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that this kind of impression generally easily reflects in our surroundings when women decision makers are there, or they have the strong opinions about something. But I guess that is because generally people look at women as a very polite and a naturally polite person. So whenever they see a woman talking very straightforward, they find it rude. So they can't make any difference about being straightforward and rude. They always think when women are talking straight, it is at the rude side of it, and that is becomes a common impression of the woman when they're at the decision making chair. Fortunately in my career, I never faced that kind of a gender discrimination or that kind of a impression. These days I'm working with Shimaru. My COO of the company is female. then my HR head is female. So when we see that we take and me as a programming head of the Marathi movie channel of Shemaru, so when we take any important calls, we have to route it through various departments which are being led by the male professionals. So the kind of conversation we have, there is always a respect like a professional, that a professional is giving advice, not like a lady sitting in this position is giving me a guidance or giving a input or crossing my opinion or countering it with a question or any query. So I think when you grow, I guess at that level the picture might change. I mean, with me at least, it is the fact that I have never fortunately experienced that kind of a thing. But I agree with Shravani, which she has mentioned about the Me Too kind of a situation. I have also seen it around that women mislead sometimes the situation, and then they play the victim cards, because it is very easy for women to play this victim card. And I guess it is also very important, especially for women in media, to avoid this route. Because once you start, I mean, when you say that I don't want to take any privilege being women, so you cannot also play with the victim card. That is also important. And I mean, here I guess we are interacting with a lot of students who are aspiring to be in media industry. I guess for all of them it is very important that you should look at the both side of this picture. This is important. At the other hand, on the content front, I would like to say, as we say, I guess Shravani started with it, that in television, how women are being portrayed. I mean, even we show working women in soaps. They are always busy, and like we glorify the picture, like how they are being superwoman. It is not natural. It is something really different they are doing. That how she is taking care of the office and then home, and how she is being glorified. It is not. It doesn't remain common. It becomes that she becomes a superwoman. But did we ever see a man being a superman when he is doing, he's managing both? When he's managing home, when he's managing office, he's never been portrayed as a superman. So why women should be portrayed as a superwoman? That's the question Shravani did ask, and I guess we are trying. We should try to address that through the television content. On the OTT front, also we do find, unfortunately, today when OTT gives a lot of scope to women protagonists in a bold role, or with the really bold content in terms of the thought process. But unfortunately, we see most of the time women are, when they are at any decision making level or any powerful position, there are like lot of affairs kind of a thing, or a very unnecessarily bolder picturization of women, that we should avoid. Because we are facing in soaps kind of a content, we see the unnecessarily glorification of women
Yeah.
in the what we can say कि सहने वाली सहनशील जो बोलते हैं हम, in that zone. And in OTT platform we see exactly the ulta, and again the glorified way of it. It is again from, I mean, at least I feel, I think Suchitra, you can throw a light on this. But sometimes it's unnecessarily women are being glorified when they're being showcased as a bold woman or a powerful woman characters. So that balance, I guess we need to really manage, and that is the real challenge at the both front. When you are portraying her as a typical woman, and when you are portraying her as a powerful woman, we really need to think that what we could do when it is about a man. We don't portray them as a superman, so why should we portray woman as a superwoman, even if she is in a powerful position? So how can we make this picture a common picture and very acceptable picture, with all the uh, realities with it, with the all facts with it? I mean, not necessarily all the superwoman, all the powerful women who are sitting in the powerful positions, they should be beautiful, they should be bold.
We lost you, Yojana.
Yeah, we lost you. That's what I was saying, Yojana, ki exact replication of family. Doesn't do in your family, everybody comes and tell you you're a super mom every day. You can be heading. You can be Kiran Bedi, you can be everybody. For children, there she's a mother. The children will come and say, ki, today we want this, you have to come to school, you have to. She's just that. That's what I was exactly saying. It is that role only. Even if I was heading and they were scared, but my children loved me the most. Today also I'm in touch with all of them, and I'm so proud they're heading various channels today. And they keep telling my daughter says everyone has one common statement. तुमच्याकडनं ओरड खाल्लं ना, today we are what we are. So I feel absolutely like a mother, because the first statement you shouted as Tai, today she is changes. Tai will never forget you. That bond is still remaining. It remains. It doesn't go anywhere. So we have to replicate what we are. If we start thinking that we are doing something, and I'm talking not today, 84 when I was started assisting also. I never thought I was the odd one. People looked at me differently. I was happily gallivanting. My husband had made it clear as an assistant director, you'll not accompany me. You'll have to go with assistant. He used to fly to go and train with my assistants. I was happily going with the unit of the other men. I never thought I was different. I had my senior chief assistant who was a man. I had the assistant below me who was a man. We were all teammates. So that never came into my mind. What she said is true. We don't have to start feeling we have an odd one out or we are doing something different. This feeling that we are doing something great or different also should go. And we cannot, that Abla thing also should go. It should be absolutely a balanced picture. And that will start changing. It will start changing our programming. It will start changing our approach. It will start changing our outlook towards this profession.
Yojana, there's a problem at your end. We can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess to address such things, I guess such discussions and conversations are very important, because we are going to accept, I mean, we people first who are going to do this, who are going to implement this practically, should accept that this is what is happening. This balance is somewhere missing, and we need to take a step further to balance it. So I guess such conversations are really important for audience and for the creators and makers as well. So I really thankful to you that Mumbai
Yeah.
University has initiated this conversation, and because of that we all came together and started having first round of it.
And not only that, generations who will be hearing are going to be entering this industry. And they are going to be the change that they will bring in with them. That is how the scenario will start changing now.
Absolutely. My next question is that, I mean, all of you are at senior position, decision-making level in industry. Is it that as a woman, you're expected to behave like a man when you are, in your professional code of conduct? Or you feel that compulsion that I have to not behave like a woman and behave like a man when I'm with my male colleagues?
What do you mean behave like a man? I didn't understand your question.
Means
You can't go, means you can't go back slapping somebody, or that's what you mean? Or I don't understand.
Not like that, but there's certain role expectations from women, and then there are role expectations from men. For example, being abusive on set. So
That's a very personal thing, beta. That's nothing to do with a man or a woman. You can have a woman who will give the foulest of bad words, and you can have a man who can be the most decent person who will not. I've worked with choreographers. I'll not take names, top notches who are directors now. In my film, there were 3 choreographers who were all top directors today. One of them, foulest of, she used to have the foulest of bad words, to the point I had to tell her, please don't abuse my assistants. She's a top-notch director today. And I had a choreographer who was so soft and gentle that I had to tell him, keep jara aap awaaz karo na, because otherwise the people are not going to, So it's not like that. It's very individual. I don't think it has to do with bad words and all. I don't think it's that myopic.
Devata, I have one different kind of observation, which I have observed, I guess, few years back, and I guess it must be still there. So, when there are soaps happening, I mean, assistant director level, people or directors, generally TV soap directors and even the film directors, they expect continuity is one department, or costume is one department, very important department in films and television. So, usme hamesha we will find that girls are there. People prefer girls to be there, and whenever there are boys, I mean, there are ads even in films, like two ads, maybe two male ads and two female ads. Then very naturally people expect that female lady should look into the continuity part of it, or costume part of it. Male ladies somehow don't think that, okay, even if I have to design the dress or plan the costumes for the female female artist, I can contribute. Very naturally, it goes to the female AD,
We have
and I guess that mindset also has to be changed.
the top designers, Manish Malhotra, Vikram Fadnis, all
Yeah,
male.
yeah. But
They're
at
all
the
male
bottom
in our
level,
industry.
Shavita, I am saying at the bottom level.
No,
I
the
mean,
bottom,
at the,
she is asking,
yeah,
you got the question mixed. She's asking behavior pattern of abuse and all. Continuity level and all is a different thing, ma. She
I mean
was
the
asking a characteristic study, male and female characteristic study. I said it depends on individuals. It's not necessary. A
right.
woman abusing or a woman eating tobacco, they
Okay.
can be also chewing tobacco. Male also will be doing female. It's bad. It's a bad sight anywhere as it is. Whether a male is chewing tobacco on the set or a female is also doing this and chewing tobacco. For me, it's a very bad sight. So I don't think so. Yes, as she says, a few things go for women, breast continuity and this and that. But still now the stereotypes have been whatever serials I'm doing now, assistants coming to me, I'm getting more boys who are coming into continuity, and I've got very few females. Men are for boys are coming for costumes and boys are coming, so that is breaking. I feel the stereotype is going off.
Right.
So that way I don't think they expect, because no Hadi Kunku Samaramba happens in our level, na ki
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we are supposed to go and see somebody as Suchita and all, when she'll be sitting there with that personality, automatically, whether male or female, you will command that kind of respect.
Yeah.
It's not necessary that even you, Yojana, with Chemaru,
Yeah.
I feel that you must be. So it doesn't have to be they don't expect, because we're not
Yeah.
portraying that Abla kind of
Right.
we don't go and ask our counterparts, "Now, what should I do now? I can't think of it." We take a calls, good or bad.
Yeah.
We take our calls. So I don't think, I don't think. And when women will come on that top position, I don't think so there should be a problem
Also,
discriminating between.
I feel apart from the behavioral patterns, apart from that, the schedules demand, like I said, it's not a 9 to 5 job. If you are a night shift, you have a night shift shoot, you have to
Yeah,
be there at night.
yeah,
So अगर तुम वो background के हो कि 7 बजे लड़कियां घर पे आओगी, this is what you will not be in the media. First of all,
yeah.
you
You
come with
can't be in
that
the media.
thing. Yeah, my father and my mother never said रात को
Yeah,
लेट नहीं आना घर पे.
yeah,
मैं मेरा
yeah,
काम होगा मैं आएगी. I will give them a
yeah,
message saying that to an extent I will even
yeah.
give them my taxi number, which I'm taking Uber driver's number. That's how we do. But we don't give excuse like नहीं नहीं night shifts allowed. You are not.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
वो
Very
सब
true.
दिमाग
Right.
घर. If you are in the media, you are in the media. You are an
Yeah.
individual.
And the
Whether
family
you
has
are
to learn
feeling
to
मदर
respect.
का बच्चा घर पे and trust me, media pays you well to take care of your household also.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. तो
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं है कि खाना बना के मेरे को जाके ही काम करना,
Are,
ऐसा नहीं
I
होता है.
became, when Sai
It's
delivered
choice.
Nakshatra, I was running the channel from home. So I was a grandmother who was doing singing lullaby and taking calls on shows. And sometimes if I had to go inside, the producers have offered to carry Nakshatra also. So that also gets balanced. It's how you approach it.
Exactly. वो
It
जरा
is,
अपने में होना चाहिए. It is nothing to do
we
with
have to
how.
project ourselves like that.
And at this level, I guess that is what is expected from women professionals.
We have to be strong in our beliefs. We have to believe in ourselves. Whatever we do, good, bad, ugly, this is us.
I mean, there are no privileges for women in this case. I mean, in corporate world, there is not at all. I don't think anywhere else also it's there in media that you can
There
work
are
with
In any
times.
field,
experience. Yeah,
if she's a surgeon
yeah,
also, if she has to go and operate, she has to go and operate.
yeah.
If she's anesthetic and a patient is on the table, she will go. People who are going on space and all, you think they're going to get this? Today, women are in every field, ma. In the army, there are too many females. They're fighting. I've seen a documentary the other day, screw cut and all these bloody women. They couldn't discriminate whether they were men or female. Doing all the this everywhere, females are doing it. They're doing in every field today. They have to be just given. They have to be allowed to be. They're doing in every field. They're doing it today. They have to be portrayed in the right way by us in the media. We have to show that everywhere they're doing it. Today, gates have opened for women in every field. So I asked Harshini this question when who was the first firefighter. She said, fire doesn't discriminate between a man and a woman. Na?
Yeah.
And I have to carry a man. That time, fire doesn't tell me whether I'm a man or a woman. So I have to take, and there how many women she was the first one who there's so many women today. So what I'm trying to say is women are there. We have to portray them in the right way. We are responsible, because as my ex-CEO of Star used to tell me, Shabni, you all are so lucky. You all are doing a program which you are giving food to so many people's thoughts. Every day you all are coming home. Every day you all are becoming, they're getting used to you all. They're getting hooked to the protagonist. So if you're food for thought, let them start thinking, because they start relating to the protagonist. The characters become a part of their house. What viewership? Television viewership is mad. They start thinking that the characters belong to them. They belong to their home. That is the kind of attachment they have with characters. So it becomes morally responsible for us as makers.
I think the discussion by three of you has been very engaging, and I can see that there are a lot of questions in the chat section. So I think we'll do justice to them, and I'll ask one question after the other. So there's a question by Tanisha. She says that portrayal of a female protagonist in Indian television remains monotonous because somewhere the audience wants to see them like that. Is that so?
See, this is again a question: egg first or hen first? This question has been battled by the channel for years, and we are battling. Is it a hen first or the egg first? This is what I'm trying to say. Slowly, this project, because we are TRP driven. That's exactly what I was trying to come to. If all the people on the head decide, slowly all our programs will start changing. We will all start showing women in a different light. Yes, people are lapping that up. I'm not denying TRPs are coming because women are lapping that up. But can't we slowly start becoming the change and start feeding them a thought where they will also start enjoying and seeing themselves in a better perspective? That should be our goal. That's what I feel.
And I'm sure there is research happening every time, like in the content creation, there is research happening, and like I said, they do change as per. I mean, demand hai to fir wo aata hai.
Suchitra, you'll be happy to note serials are not doing as well as they were doing. It is not that people are getting away with showing anything today.
Anything.
Today, that stagnation is coming. Stagnation is coming. People are getting bored of seeing the same monotype. There'll be just a phase when they will say no. And so now it becomes very important for us as decision makers to latch on to that change and slowly give them thought process where they start thinking, let us see some, more complete kind of human beings. It's very important.
Saying something.
I have a question for Tai. I have in Star, I've seen a lot of contents are the remake of the South or Bangla
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Do you think they are more forward thinking, or why
See,
is it?
Suchitra, I did my own study. I don't know whether wrong. I was talking to my producers therefore. If you see a little element of this between Sairat and between Pushpa, see, both Allu Arjun was a celebrated actor, whom even I'm a fan of his dancing. My granddaughter showed me, and I was a huge fan. He has been shown in a very mundane grassroots level, unkept, very simple, and hit songs, and a strong love story. Same was the formula of Sairat. Sairat, it was very ground level actor, very looking absolutely one of them, commoner, and a very strong love story, differentiated love story, and strong songs. And definitely, even now, I'm finding a lot of content from the regional is reflecting well in Hindi. So that is the change. See, regional content always had more substance. Always the characters and all were more rooted, grounded in regional than Hindi. Hindi, in Marathi, so whatever my experience running the number one channel of the state, if you showed them Ravish, people say, "Asa thoda soto," they rejected your show. You couldn't, show anything to them. You have to give some logic to the stupidity, which is now percolating into the Hindi space. Which is definitely percolating into the Hindi space.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely seeing changes in Marathi cinema. I can more talk about the Marathi cinema because last few years with Z and now with Chimaru, I'm dealing with a lot of Marathi films. I'm seeing the content. Yes, experiments are happening there. The picture is brighter, But yeah, the acceptance, I mean, Marathi cinema faces different challenges at the box office level, so it's we cannot say that it is common, but yeah, very serious and brilliant attempts are happening in that particular format. And for us, the challenge is whenever we want to, I mean, a lot of, we hear that a lot of good movies are being produced in Marathi, but you may not be able to watch all of them very regularly or very often on Marathi television, on platforms of Marathi movie channel, whether it is Z Talkies or Shimaru Marathi Bana or other Marathi channels. So the reason is somehow whenever it comes to entertainment, people expect no intellectual entertainments in terms of the movies, especially on television in Marathi. So when people are interested to watch a really good movie, they prefer to go to OTT platform, or they go to some I mean, they go to theaters for that particular movie. But on television, for such kind of a movie content, there is a very right now, I can say with the help of numbers as well, that there is a lesser acceptance to this kind of a content, and that is a really big challenge for us. People are still in that 80s 90s zone where they watch the Lakshmikant, Ashok Saraf comedies, and that is what the Marathi films are for them when it is about the large masses. At the large level, it is all about the masses. So that is the one challenge we are facing. I mean, there are a lot of good movies in Marathi based on the female protagonist, the really good and the real portrayal of the woman through Marathi pictures. But unfortunately, we won't be able to give the justice in terms of the exposure through our platforms, because the challenge, I guess, remains with the audience mindset. For the movie, there is a certain kind of a mindset for Marathi audience, and that challenge we are trying to break.
But Yojana, I'm happy they don't watch on television because filmmakers would want them to go to theaters. There
Yeah,
was a time
actually,
when I was doing Star, I was
yeah,
heading
yeah.
Star, I used to
So
hate it.
I
People used to launch a movie and says, अरे चैनल से तो इतना पैसा आ जाएगा फिर इससे इतना ऐसे आप लोग चैनल के लिए मूवी बनाते हो क्या
correct,
you're
correct,
making it for the theaters get the audience back to theaters now get the
exactly,
people back to every medium is different why are we
exactly,
making movies for television let
exactly,
television content start doing television all 7 days let movies be
right,
shown on theaters let
right.
people go to theaters let dramas be happening on stage let everyone co-live now together.
Right, and that is a big challenge, I guess, Marathi cinema entirely is facing, the box office issue. And once that should be sorted, I guess this challenge for television exposure for such kind of a movies will be addressed. And that is the right way of addressing that challenge, I believe. I mean, there should be a good box office success to all kind of a Marathi movies,
Yeah,
not only the particular one, I mean, the subject oriented movies or niche movies, but even the massy movies.
I think most, like Shravani rightly pointed out, that you're making movies for the TV channel and not for the theater. So you
yeah,
have your
why?
own calculations that okay, no nude
But
scenes, no.
actually, it was happening. People used to first ask, कितना मिलेगा television से? They used to ask, कितना मिलेगा? अच्छा, फिर उसमें इतना डाले. अरे why? Have the guts, release your film. Let the people come to theaters, na? Theaters are for watching films. That's why the whole thing is sinking now, na? Why films are bombing and all. The whole equation is gone. Previously, single producers, they used to make films for theaters, 25 weeks. I have got my films who have done 25 weeks. Sarkar Nama has done success, Lapandao, my film. And on television also, it has been shown and shown and shown and shown. But I saw huge success on theaters. And the kind of happiness you get when people come to theaters is different. So that also has to be taken care of. Na? You can't be doing that. Na? So these things are all muddled up. Slowly they're getting sorted now with a lot of changes are happening now. Audience is only rejecting, audience is only now understanding. See, you've got an educated audience now. Our maids and all their children, I repeatedly saying, the grassroots level is getting educated today. They are accessible to phones, they are accessible to laptops, they have seen the world. On Google, they can see what they want. They are no more that primitive type of viewing is not happening. So things are definitely going to change. It is going to be a brighter, and this conversation becomes important because all the people from your students and all are going to become this of change.
There's one more question by Bhaswati, and I think she's talking about the entry barriers. That she's saying that women or maybe men who have got a better financial support or come from a privileged background if they get easy entry and those who are not find it challenging to enter the field. Is that so?
No, it is a little, no, it is not, because even if, see, to a certain point they can go. If you belong to a financial background, you can go to a certain limit. But if you don't have talent, you'll be rejected. Na? People don't want to buy trash. Na? But the change I'm seeing is today so many actors, writers are coming from small towns, small places, and they're so talented. My gosh, today writers, none of them come from affluential family. They come from small towns, and that brings in the freshness, that brings in the honesty in their writing. Because ultimately, you want good stuff. If you belong to an influential family, you've seen what is happening. You go to a certain level. After that, you won't succeed. You will have to have your own talent.
I don't think you have to be a New York Film Academy graduate to get a job in any media house. Like I have seen producers, like I have joined a corporate way too late because I was doing films. So it was only when I needed money is when I
Yeah.
switched from films to television.
Yeah.
And like I remember my first interview where I didn't know even the packages, kya hai tumhara pay package, what am I worth, I didn't know. And the HR asks you, how much do you expect? I didn't know what to quote. I'm like calling my friends who are in this industry and they don't want to reveal how much they are getting. So it was so difficult. And luckily, what happened was like what ma'am says, if you don't have the talent, you will not be recognized. Without any television background, straight to Star Plus. I remember my first interview when my interviewer asked, do you watch Star Plus? I said yes since yesterday because I had an interview to attend. So you have a strong background in films. People graduate from OAP to films. You are coming backward. Why is it so? I said I need money. So it was that, and he could see. He saw my reels, and he saw the talent in way where he asked me some. He evaluated me on certain promos and how would I look at it, and I got the job right then and there. I didn't have a TV background, and I didn't know where am I getting into. Like if you do films, you don't look at TV. At least me, I didn't want to get into TV because I thought TV is all about that, packaging dirty shows. But later when I got into TV, I got to know the real picture and I started loving it and I'm not leaving it. So yes, definitely films, सबका अलग-अलग work condition है,
But she's saying it's true. When I was 48, Debu was on deathbed when I took a job. No, Debu was on the last stage. He asked me to take a job. I was 48 when I walked into Star office. And they told me the same thing. For them, it was such a big, Star 48, now she's going to come. So he asked me, lady, you've done films, you're an Astor Award winner now. I said, sir, I know my grammar. So if you tell me na Shakespeare likhna hai, slang likhna, that will take time. But grammar to intact hai na. I know my ABCD, I know all my grammar. Grammar ही लोगों को नहीं आता आप लोग के यहाँ. मैं grammar सीखे. You have to just mold me what you want. Whether you want a Shakespeare written, you want normal English, you want slang. It'll just take me little time to get into that. But because I know my grammar, you throw me anywhere, I'll be able to survive. 48 or 50 or 60, that's not a criteria. Age is in the mind. So what she's saying is true. And my CEO asked me, how old are you? Luckily, he was 2 months younger than me. I said, sir, you're 2 months younger than me. We same the same year. So that is not a criteria. कि this age bar, young लोगों का ही media है. Nowadays people say only young people, fresh talent, fresh ideas. It's not that. If you're young enough in your mind, you can survive. But each one of us has to have the drive. This medium, you cannot sit on someone's shoulder, whether it's a father or it's a mother or a sister. Each one of you has to have that fire and the drive within. Then you survive, and you survive long, and you survive to a decent position. And you grow.
So Devata, I have my own example. People who are asking about was the entry easy or are there any barriers? Of course, 15 years back or more than 15 now. When I started in industry, as I mentioned, I am from a small town called Dhule, which is in North Maharashtra. So I had my complete education from North Maharashtra University. I have done my post graduation as well from there. So I don't have typically a Mumbai Pune degree. That time, today I'm talking to or talking through the platform of Mumbai University. And once a time I was really aspiring. Okay, I want to do my post graduation from this university, because I have to, at that time it was in my mind that I might have to have that label that I have a degree from this particular university, or to come in media. Maybe that time, from living in Dhule, I had that in mind that I might have to have a degree from Pune or Mumbai university to enter in the media. And that time I didn't even know what kind of a roles are available for me, or what exactly I want to do. When I applied for ETV, I didn't even know there is a position called executive producer. Nowadays, I guess there is much more awareness for this generation, what kind of a roles are there. I mean, I guess all of us will agree that when we started, we didn't know what kind of a profiles, what are all the opportunities, what exactly we all are good into. We didn't know that much about it. We started and slowly we learned everything, and we started our journey. I guess these days it is more easier for students to enter in it, because whenever I interact with any students, they have too much of information. I guess they are loaded with information more than enough, even that there are so many opportunities, so many areas, so many fields, what we can do and all that. They come up with their questions with a lot of information. And I find sometimes that is also the problem. I mean, you should not be thinking too much. You just have to start thinking about without any barriers or any reservations, that entry would be restricted, because I am the someone who have no background, no support. That way I'm completely the outsider in this media, and today I'm leading one television channel creatively in just 15 years. So that is what is there, and I'm telling this through completely my journey. I mean, people who have seen me, it was a very slow journey. Like I started from executive producer, then I was a music head, then I was a vertical head, then today I'm leading a channel creatively. So of course there is a scope to grow without any particular support system, or we can say the lobby kind of a thing. So when people say in media there is a lobby, like आपकी पहचान है तो आपको काम मिलता है, growth होती है. I worked with various organizations like I mean, Viacom, Z, 9X Media, and now Shimaru. So nothing such happened with me, at least, and I don't think it happens with a lot of people. It's mainly your talent, because as I said, ki, tomorrow a 25-year-old girl can come, and she can come prove her creativity, and she can grab this opportunity where I'm sitting today. That is very much possible in media. So that is how it is. I mean, people whoever are thinking that there are barriers or there are certain criteria where you are entering into this industry, actually there are not.
So, one last thing, since the theme says regimes, what regime changes, television regime changes, you would like to share with the audiences that will change the portrayal of women or men on screen? What hardcore changes you see that needs to be done?
Changes is A, I feel have faith in yourself. Learn your job. Don't, just borrow a few knowledge, half-baked knowledge. Don't go approach to any profession, especially this profession also, with a half-baked knowledge. See, when we are dealing with something which we are entering, I feel your knowledge is a must. You have to have knowledge of the profession and have faith in yourself. There'll be time when that faith, will be challenged. That becomes very crucial. Your faith will be challenged by circumstances around you. You should not lose faith in your ideology and what you think is right. And keep growing. At no stage, after so many years in the industry, from 84 to now, how many years? 30 years, 34 years in the industry with so much of background, I still feel I'm a child who has to learn so much. When I meet my co-directors or younger directors who are doing better work than me, I feel, oh gosh, they're thinking of subjects like this. They're thinking their films are this. I have to start, thinking of getting ideas. And also growth. You have to be childlike. You have to keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Learning doesn't stop in this profession. So if you have these qualities, according to me, honesty towards your profession, faith in yourself, knowing about the knowledge, it's a science. It's a science. Learn the science. And the ability to keep growing, even if you're in any position, keep growing, keep growing. At no position you have attended, you will survive.
Devata, unmute
Yeah.
yourself.
Would you like to add to that?
Sure. I mean, yeah, whatever ma'am is saying is so true. And I would actually just to add some few points to that. If you have identified what you want to do in life, you, apart from just having the guts to do things in this way, you don't really need guts, you just need talent and some smartness to move ahead. Master your skill. Here everybody is doing everything. Can you be, if it is a promo producer, can you be the best promo producer in this world where people will call you just to make a 30-seconder of a 2-hour film? Master your skill, and instead of just randomly trying applying. That's why I said, if you have identified, how will you identify? You get into the real job, start by giving a clap. I started by giving a clap. I didn't know what the film business is, and then I went to the film school to learn, master my skill. And I think first of all, enroll your people into your dream. Like if you, I was reading few the points in the chat. Uh, like family support and financial backing is more like, honestly, like a luxury. I don't see that. I don't see family support unless until you yourself are, aware of what you want to do. You cannot enroll your people. My parents didn't know what filmmaking is, didn't know what an assistant director is. They accompanied me to Ooty where I was shooting my first regional film. And they stayed in a hotel. They came on set to see what is my daughter doing among these 100 odd men. They saw me, they saw my work, and then they went. You got them into your space. If they are not understanding your job, my parents are not even 10th pass, and you don't, I would not call educated, hey, samajh jayenge. No, you have to enroll your people, whoever, they will understand, they will know where you're getting. All you need is just a motivation, self motivation, and trust in yourself that you will get it there. That's about it.
This is this is ongoing. You have so many years of experience, and I can see that so many ideas, and I can see there are still a lot of questions unanswered. But in the interest of time, we will have to come to the closure of it, and I'm sure I'll answer to some of the questions in the class, because even I have worked in this sector, and I see what had been the challenges in working it. Uh, and I'll just share my experience. When I produced my first film, my husband was directing it, and I used to get questions that, okay, producer and director conflict, and nobody knows about it. So, do you fight at home also? Do you no? Is it the same at home also? Like, no, like I said, that at home we are husband and wife, and I'm doing my wife role and he's doing his husband role. So why the stereotypical expectations from gender, from males also, from females also. And I would like to share one experience in my office. We were preparing the schedule of the film, and I was busy preparing the schedule. Two of the guests came, and my husband made tea, and they looked at me and they're like, Devata, you're lucky. Your husband makes tea. I was like, this is had it been other way, would they have said that
No.
you're lucky that Devata is preparing tea for you?
Yeah.
I'm sure when all of women are facing this on a daily basis, that if I see the chat section reflection, I see that all the chats and questions are from women. Not a single question is posed by a male student, and we started with 55 and we are 47, so 8 students drop and all are male. So and this definitely reflects a lot about how the industry works and how women are perceived in the industry. So on that note, we come to the closure of the this panel discussion. We have our convener with us, Dr. Smita Shukla ma'am. Some concluding remarks from her. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Devata. I think the title of convener belongs to you, because this is all your thought process. The way you have got these beautiful ladies, very, very inspiring ladies, to this platform, and such was the quality of discussion. Like, I was listening, latching on to every word which was being spoken today, and I feel so inspired. Sharbani madam, so inspiring you were. Like, I love.
Thank you, ma'am.
When you concluded and gave your advice, which is definitely meant for youngsters, but me being a lady, sitting here listening to you, and I thought that, okay, this is is which is crux of being successful. No privileges are going to come your way because you are women. You have to know what you are doing, and you have to stay focused on that first, and everything will come through. So beautiful it was. Then I see you, Suchitra madam, and again, you are such an inspiration. There are so many youngsters who are attending today, and you have changed your life journey from doing something and again moving on to a new domain, and media is so wide. It's not just one thing, so the context word, Yojana again, madam, you are again so inspiring. It's not that anyone who's necessarily belongs to metro cities is going to be successful, and it's not just that those who were mainstream when I say is that it's main media. When you look at success, no, it's regional success also. How do you work in regional spaces and still connect to the audiences, and in fact the true audiences, majority of India belongs there. So it was so beautiful. And last 2 days, every discussion which is taking place, which is started from academicians, that where do the girls go from academics after they complete their media programs? Where exactly are they? Why they are not so many numbers, the way you see them in the classroom, and the kind of again quality discussion. Or in the second half, when we had women in media, but when you look at news streams, how women are being projected in news, again such a quality discussion. And entire credit goes to this lady here, and one man also, Dr. Anade. But I'm so indebted to Department of Communication and Journalism for saying yes, associating with Indian Council for Social Science Research. Whatever you all have stated today and also in the other 2 sessions will be documented. We will be creating a report. I'm quite sure that this will be a great contribution. Your thoughts will be great contribution to academics and the social science thinking for years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Devika.
Thank you.
Thank you, Smita
God
ma'am.
bless.
And once the document is ready, I shall share it with all my panelists. I'm sure you
Absolutely.
have more to add to that rough draft. With this, I formally announce that we are towards the closure of the 2-day conclave and this panel discussion. A formal vote of thanks to Shravani Tai,
Thank you,
Suchitra,
ma'am.
Yojana,
Thank you.
Smita Shukla ma'am for arranging and agreeing and being the sponsor for this event, and thank you ICCSR, Dr. Rajesh Khara, Dean Humanities, for initiating the seed of this conclave, and our other convener, Dr. Sanjay Ranade, head of the department, Dr. Sundar Rajdeep, for agreeing to collaborate on this program, and of course my department colleagues, wonderful students who have been listening to these sessions since yesterday. Thank you so much, and have a great afternoon and enjoy your meal.
You too.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ma'am.
Devita, you wanted to have a quick discussion. Do you want it today or later on we can have it?
Sanjay sir is not there, so
We will have it later. Yes, that will be better.
From ending the meeting
So
now.
much. From my side, vote of thanks to you.
Arey, nahi ma'am kya?
Yeah. Thank you so much. So then we'll conclude. Yeah.